So, what does a country's future look like when you put it down on paper? Well, today we're diving into Cambodia's answer to that question. It's a super ambitious new blueprint called the Pentagonal Strategy, and it's designed to shape the entire nation's destiny for the next 25 years. Now, to really get why this new strategy is such a big deal, you have to look at Cambodia's incredible recent past. And it all kind of starts with this number, 7%. For two straight decades, the country's economy grew on average over 7% every single year. I mean, that kind of performance is just remarkable. And that growth, it had a huge real-world impact. Get this, the nation's GDP grew tenfold. It went from just about $3 billion back in 1998 to nearly $30 billion by 2022. That is a staggering transformation. But this wasn't just about numbers on a page. That economic boom fundamentally changed people's lives. Millions of Cambodians were lifted out of poverty, and the national poverty rate actually dropped below 10% just before the pandemic hit. So how does Cambodia plan to build on this incredible success? Here's our roadmap for today. We'll look at the story so far, then the new challenges that are forcing a change of plans. After that, we'll break down the Pentagonal Strategy itself, its 5 key pillars, and finally, what this is all for, Cambodia's vision for 2050. All right, first, let's get some context. After emerging from decades of devastating conflict, Cambodia has truly, and I mean truly, reimagined itself. The country has completely flipped the script from a story of tragedy to one of amazing development. You know, this journey from a post-conflict nation to a lower middle-income economy didn't happen by accident. It was built very intentionally on previous national plans. You might have heard of them as the triangular and rectangular strategies. They basically laid the groundwork by focusing on the absolute must-haves: peace, stability, and growth. But here's the thing. The world today is a very different place. And the strategies that got Cambodia here might not be enough to get it to the next level. The country is facing a whole new set of challenges that, frankly, demand a new game plan. And these challenges are coming from 2 directions. First, you've got the global pressures. Things like geopolitical tensions, the very real effects of climate change, and a world economy that's getting more fragmented. Then, there are the domestic hurdles, an economy that still leans heavily on labor-intensive work, the need to upskill the workforce, and, of course, the ongoing need for better infrastructure and public services. So, what's the answer to this really complex new environment? Well, the Royal Government of Cambodia has its response ready, a comprehensive new plan called the Pentagonal Strategy. The best way to think about this strategy is as the foundation for the next 25 years of nation building. This isn't just a quick fix. It's the first supercritical phase of a much longer-term vision to guide Cambodia all the way to becoming a high-income nation by 2050. Okay, so this diagram might look a little intense, but it's basically the master blueprint. Let's trace it. Right there in the middle, you see the core, which is all about good governance. That's wrapped in an overarching environment of peace and stability. You gotta have that. And then, branching out from the center, you see the 5 interconnected pentagons. These are the action plans. So let's just break that down a bit. The core is about making government institutions work better and be more trustworthy. The overarching environment is about protecting that hard-won peace and stability. And then you've got the 5 pentagons themselves. These are the 5 key pillars that are really going to drive the country forward. All right, let's get into the real heart of the plan, those 5 pentagons. Think of these as the engines that the whole strategy relies on to power economic growth and social progress. So here they are, the 5 pillars. It all starts with investing in people, or human capital. That then allows for a more diverse and competitive economy. A strong economy, of course, needs a thriving private sector, creating jobs. But all of this, and this is key, has to be sustainable and inclusive. And the final pillar, the one that supercharges everything else, is a modern digital society. So, Pillar 1 is foundational. It's all about putting people first. This means direct investment in them through better education, better healthcare, job skills for the modern world, and a stronger social safety net for everybody. The second pillar is all about the economy itself. The goal here is to become more competitive by moving beyond the same old industries, finding new areas for growth, and building the modern infrastructure needed to support it all. Pillar 3 focuses on the main engine of job creation, the private sector. The idea is to create an environment where businesses of all sizes, from little startups to big corporations, can really thrive and be partners in the country's growth. The 4th pentagon is about smart growth. It's about making sure that development is green, that it's resilient to climate change, and, crucially, that it's inclusive.
The goal is a green economy where the benefits of progress are shared by everyone in society.
And the fifth and final pillar is all about the future. It's about hitting the accelerator on the country's digital transformation, building a digital government, a digital economy, and a digital society to really unlock new levels of productivity and innovation. But look, with all these big strategic goals, how do you make it simple? Well, the government boiled it all down to 5 very tangible priorities that cut across every single pillar: people, road, water, electricity, and technology. These are the real, concrete building blocks for the future. And this isn't just some abstract, long-term vision. The strategy is kicking off with 6 immediate programs designed to show real results right now. We're talking about expanding healthcare, providing job training for 1.5 million young people from poorer families, and strengthening social safety nets. It's about action today. So, after all of this, all these pentagons, priorities, and programs, where does it all lead? Well, it's all pointing toward one single, incredibly ambitious long-term goal. And this is it. This is the finish line. The whole point of the Pentagonal Strategy is to make Cambodia Vision 2050 a reality. That means transforming the nation into a high-income country in just one generation. A country that's not just rich, but also socially vibrant, resilient to shocks, and strong. So the plan is all laid out. The ambition is crystal clear. But those global and domestic challenges are very real. And that leaves us with a big question. Can Cambodia really use this new strategy to build the foundation it needs to achieve its bold vision for 2050?